So let's go to St Albans. Simon Grover is Green Party councillor for St Peter's ward, which I imagine is affected. What details can you give us, and when are this vile action meant to start? Good morning, councillor.
Good morning. So the notices went up on trees about a week or two before the local elections, so late April. The chainsaws started almost immediately. Residents, I was not informed. I was obviously a councillor, but also a leader of the Green and Independent group on the council. I wasn't informed that this work was about to start. And whilst the council might say, well, why would they inform anyone? They should have known, because of the example you just gave, and Sheffield, of course, before that this would be controversial, that people would be upset about that. And sure enough, they were. And they formed a local group. They came to me as a link to the council to say, what can you do to get through to the council? And I've been trying ever since to get through and say, what's going on? Why are you just sort of talking about this being health and safety? There's so many other issues involved.
Well, they would say, you're probably aware, councillor, some of these trees are dead, dying or diseased, so there is a risk they could fall on people or property.
Yes, and of course, if there's an imminent danger of damage or falling, of course, trees die, trees have to be taken down sometimes. No one's disputing that. But the point is that this has been sold to us purely on the basis of health and safety. I'm told there's no political or decision-making or public consultation necessary because it's health and safety. A quarter of the trees are identified as dead. A third of them are described as having evident decline or being in poor condition. So residents are saying, look, let's have another look. Do these trees really need to come down? Do they need to come down now? Or maybe they've got a few more years' life in them.
Have you been able to at least put a stay on the works, councillor?
No, I've asked that, and particularly because it's a nesting season at the moment. So, of course, it's a criminal offence to chop down a tree if you know that there's an active nest in that tree. There's no reason for it to be happening, apart from those possibly non-urgent cases. Absolutely fine, of course. But it should be at least paused until nesting season is over. Assess the health and safety risk against the other ones around, climate change, urban heat, pollinator corridors that are created by trees. Even dead trees have a value to wildlife and biodiversity.
Can you give my listeners across the whole of the country a sense of the upset or distress this is causing to local residents?
Well, I've had so many calls, and I only represent a small part of St Albans, but I've had so many calls and emails about this, and from other parts of the country as well, because this story has gone nationwide. It's been in the national press. I was on national TV yesterday, because journalists keep picking this up and saying, how can a council be, not my words, but so stupid to do this without at least some sort of public consultation? And they're just refusing. Councillors and council staff are refusing to engage with me on this. And, I don't know what to say to residents other than I'm trying as hard as I can. I hope other councillors are trying too, because this is becoming a matter of reputation for our council, which nobody wants.
For people who live in urban areas, can you explain the significance? You touched on it briefly, how important trees are in rural parts.
Yes, so these are highways trees. So these are trees that you see around all the time along the side of your street, often huge mature trees. Some of these are huge great oaks, big horse chestnuts, beautiful trees. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are. So, trees help reduce air pollution. They tackle climate change, of course, because they literally breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. They are the secret weapon against climate change. They create pollinator corridors. So you want your birds and butterflies and all these insects to be able to hop from place to place. It sounds simplistic, but that's what they need to do. And so trees down streets really help with that. They help with biodiversity. The biodiversity crisis is even bigger than the climate change crisis.
Unfortunately, we've lost the line there, but I'm grateful to you. Thank you. Simon Grover is a Green Party councillor for St Peter's ward in St Albans.